couldn't be further from the truth. Renting a house costs more than that. It probably does. Like, for example, like most homes here in the DMV area, like, you know, because of inflation, everything like that, they have like, you say like $2,800. So just let's use that, right? Say if you go and you rent a house and they tell you it's $2,800 a month. Somebody be like, oh, it's $2,800 a month. You're paying somebody for an apartment, for a 2-bedroom apartment in DC, between $2,300 and $2,600 a month, and it's going nowhere. It's going nowhere. It's literally just being burnt money, right? Versus if you go to rent a house or rent to own, you can say, you know what? I'm going to guarantee you that I will stay in this house for 5 to 10 years, but my rent or what I'm renting to the person who owns this house is going towards the purchase of said home. They may charge you a little bit more. This is where you get them. Bring in 2 roommates. Get 2 roommates and say, you know what? I'm going to have this house. Once you bought that house out from that person, go get you another house and start that shit all over. Somebody like, how the fuck you do that? I've seen it done. I haven't done it personally, but I have seen people go and buy a home and then move their friends into that house and have them pay the rent. That's what most people do when they're renting to own anyway. They're like, all right, cool. I bought this house. I'm going to have people pay off the house and I'll get another house. That's just like, you know, developing equity into homes and things like that. And I'm not a realtor. Some realtor will probably come in the comments and either agree or disagree. But to say renting a house costs more than, you know, an apartment, that's a fucking lie. Because when you think about if you own a house, you don't have to pay between $70 to $150 a month to park your car. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about the constant inflation of your rent payments. 1 year, like for me, when I was renting, when I lived in an apartment building, I was paying $1,508 for an apartment, right? $1,508. Stayed in that for a year, right? And then for renewal for the next 16 months, they were like, okay, it's going to go up to $1,800. I had to then go and look for other apartments in the building because I didn't want to move out of the building to see if they had my rent. It went up $300. So you have to compete with every year with an apartment, the rent going up. So what you're saying, renting a house costs more than that? No. If you are renting a house and they tell you, hey, it's going to be $2,700, it's going to be $3,000. Like, all right, get 2 roommates, y'all pay $1,000 a piece, y'all all got your own personal space, you all have, you know, the things in the house that are yours. When I say are yours, meaning like you don't have to worry about like your house being fucked up, because the person who owns that house is not going to want that house to be fucked up. You can call them up and be like, yo, something not working, come and fix that. Until you are the homeowner, it's their personal problem. You do the same thing with the apartments. The issue with the apartments though is, you know for a fact, if as an apartment owner, that you may call the leasing office and say, hey, like, you know, your dishwasher's not, you know, not working. It's going to take them 3-4 months. If you go to somebody as a rent to own and say the dishwasher's not working, they are obligated to get that shit fixed. They are. Leasing agents, apartment buildings, not the same thing. So when you're saying renting a house costs more than that, no. Because when you're renting a house, you're renting just, you know, to live there, but then you have the amenities as well. So, you know, lawn care, for example, trash, recycling, all that, that's into that price. But the luxury of having a house, I can guarantee you, is so much better, in my personal opinion, not for everybody, than renting. When I was renting an apartment, I'm telling you, like, the luxury of having elevators, you know, people stumbling in, you can hear them in the hallways at fucking, you know, 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want that shit. Living on a grid system was great for an apartment, so you never have to worry about the power going out or anything like that. But you got to worry about the people above you, the people beside you. I'm not doing that shit. So the peace of mind of having a home is something that I would personally do. But saying that renting a house costs more, they're about the same price if you get the right house. If you get the right house, you got to make sure you trust the person who owns it. You got to make sure that they're on top of their house, number 2. And number 3, you have to know that whatever deal you sign, that's for you. If they say, hey, you got to stay here for 5 years, stay there for fucking 5 years. But just let them know when you negotiate, the price is the price. Don't hit them with the inflation shit like, oh, because the inflation is going to go up $400. That's what apartments do. Apartments will literally just tell you, you know what? Just like during the pandemic, for example, they would tell you, hey, your rent's going to stay the same right now. So the entire pandemic may have paid like $2,000. Just use that. You paid $2,000, right? But then 2023 comes around. They getting that on the back end. They're like, hey, These apartments are going to go from $2,000 to $2,700. You've gotten accustomed to paying $2,000. The difference in renting a house is if they do go up in it or whatever, you can just say, I'm going to roll out, and you can find something that's negotiable, just like an apartment. But the issue is you can negotiate that at the beginning. You can't negotiate with an apartment complex. The fucking price is the price. You can't go to them and be like, hey, I know it says $2,500 here, but all I got is like $1,800, $1,900. The fuck, they're gonna look at you like, no, what? We can't do that, bucko. Figure it out. Go somewhere else. But yeah, renting a house costs more. No. The maintenance is on them. The lawn care on them. Recycling on them. Trash on them. Something breaks in that house, on them, that you don't personally break. Like, don't be a dickhead and be like, all right, I'm gonna just break the shower and not want to fix it. Like, some people do that. Some people literally just don't care about other people's property. That can talk, y'all can talk about that in another video. But saying renting a house costs more than an apartment, if anything, they're equal.